Welcome back to the Srdjan General Show. With me today, I have a Chicago radio host from one of the top morning shows, The Morning Mix on WTMX. And she can dance Leskovac in her sleep. Please welcome Violeta Podrumedic.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
This is literally amazing.
Thanks.
I love every detail in your house.
Now, it's been quite a number of years since we've last seen each other. What was it, like 8, 9, 10, something like that?
Too many probably,
Jeez.
but yeah, we go way back to Sunday school at Palmer.
Oh man, dancing folklore every Saturday and stuff like that.
And
Do you miss those times?
Oh my God, yes. Honestly, like being in church, when we were in it, I kind of feel like it was one of those things forced upon me, like a lot of Sundays.
Join the club.
Yeah, and it was like, many other kids were doing 10,000 other things, and I'm like, no, I got to go early to church, and then I got dance practice, and then I got another dance practice, and then it's like fit in, you know, homework that you didn't do for the rest of the weekend somewhere in between. But now looking back, I mean, it was so special, really.
Was it weird, like explaining to your like non-Serb friends like what you're doing, like you're dancing?
100% probably in the beginning, but then I think like all generation kids, not even just Serbian, at some point your friends just get it. They're like, you don't do stuff the same way I do. Like your
we're
family
not calling
is
Vicky
weird.
on Saturday. We know she's like at a Tanica this weekend.
Exactly. But it's like, I remember the first time I lived across the street from a Dunkin' Donuts. So like we were all dressed up, ready to do a zabava, and we were wearing Leskovac, like the potato sacks, the brown ones, and you know, the little vest and like hair up in a bun, just red lipstick, looking like crazy.
Yeah. The horse weave.
Exactly. I don't know if that was in yet, but my parents were running late, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go get some ice cream. It was like summer. So I like walk over in like my full Leskovac costume, and like everybody looked at me like I just was walking down the street regular, like I wasn't going somewhere like in a costume.
Right.
And it just was it's so funny, but I feel like that was my upbringing in so many different ways anyway. Like I think probably you can relate, like being Serbian, just even saying Serbian, they're like, oh, Siberia, cool. Yeah. I'm like, A, that's not a country, B, that's not where I'm from. Like it was always like, wait, what?
Yeah,
from your name to where you're from to what you eat, like everything was different.
Do you ever feel, because you're of a different culture, you were sort of like an outcast in any way, like growing up?
Probably when I was younger, but honestly, like I think it's like the best thing ever being different, and especially like these days, it's so unique. And you know, we always travel. My sister and I always went back to Serbia during the summers, and like you know, when you're in younger school, you could go and they keep you there like for all 3 months, and basically just ship you off. And instead of boarding school, you have Serbia,
yeah,
like the
like
village.
Fend for yourself.
Yeah, the selo with the bobbit, and it's fine. You know,
that's the best summer school, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
So we definitely grew up with both cultures, 100%. And then, you know, my parents were like not speaking English in the house, mostly because they couldn't. But then even once they learned English, it was like, no, you're Serbian. You need to stay as Serbian as possible. And they just kind of, I don't want to say beat that into us as often as possible, but pretty much, they wanted us to hold on to our heritage. And as a kid, you kind of are like, just give me a McDonald's, let me play, you know, PlayStation or whatever. But then you realize like, wow, that stuff really made me who I am in a lot of ways. And I like that I stand out now. And I like that I have a whole nother country and people and place that I can like escape to and feel at home.
Totally.
You know? Look at little Violeta. I think I cut my bangs there myself.
Yourself?
Yeah.
What, do you think you were like a troll doll and like you started cutting away?
I cut all the Barbies, all the trolls.
So they're all bald?
Pretty much.
Or they were bald?
I thought they were going to grow back. But you know, this is interesting. So Serbian smiles.
Just the top teeth?
Well, you're not allowed to smile with your teeth. Like
who said?
My grandma and my mom and everybody. Like anytime I would smile, they're like, oh, don't embarrass the family. To je sramota, like less teeth.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the day, like when I've seen pictures from back in the day of like all of our like our ancestors and stuff, they're always like standing serious, looking away from the camera.
Yeah.
And they, still to this day, those same people do the same thing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, like you know the camera's right in front of you. Like, why are you looking that way?
Right. Why have teeth?
But
that
do
you
they
can't show 'em?
smile?
Nowadays they do.
Yeah. Because like all of my like family pictures, like they're all like
Stone Cold Steve
Yeah.
Austin's.
What is this? So this was me fighting a smile, I think, from like an
"Oh,
early
Mama
age.
told me
Like,
not to
don't
do
do it. Everyone else is smiling all big and cheesy, and
Totally.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Where's your family from?
So we are from a small village near Negotin. It's called Urovica. Well, at least my dad's from Urovica. My mom is from Dušanovac. And it's on the border of Serbia and Romania. So
Okay.
in my
Cefac.
village, yeah, Cefac, Njimica, we speak Serbian and Romanian. So really Vlaški, but
Okay. Interchangeably, or like depending on who you're talking to, I'm speaking Serbian to you, I'm speaking Vlaški to you.
so in Urovica, in the village, like in the selo, we speak full Vlaški 24/7. But then if you make it over to Negotin, which is like the bigger town, it's like, you know, you have to speak Serbian. Otherwise it's frowned upon, you know. So yeah, that's kind of where we're from. You know, we go back as often as possible. My grandma lives there now full time, but she was here and raised my sister and I like growing up.
Shout out to Žarkica.
Yeah, Baba Žarkica. She's a doll. Like honestly, even like on my socials and everything, like she's
Honestly,
popular.
not sorry.
Yeah.
But she's a star.
No, she is. We were at Target once, and she like, you know, we were in different aisles. All of a sudden, like I hear her talking to someone. I'm like, she doesn't know anybody.
A fan for the radio show?
Literally,
Oh, really?
somebody walked up to her like, oh my God,
Žarkica.
can I hug you? I saw you on Instagram. And she's like, oh yeah, go ahead. Like, she's like, oh, they recognize
No
me.
photos, no
I know.
photos.
It was so sweet, and she loves it. She eats it up.
What did you aspire to be? Did you already know you wanted to go to radio, or was there something else that you wanted to do first?
So my parents owned a restaurant. So we grew up in a restaurant family. My parents had the restaurant in our apartment, was right on top. So it was like,
Convenient.
yeah, very convenient and very.
Like if mom's sick of working. All right, Vicky, go downstairs.
Mom's not allowed to be sick of working.
Oh,
Dad took
man.
a lot of breaks, but mom was in the kitchen.
Now that you mentioned the restaurant,
Yeah.
I actually still have a hole in my heart from a particular, what I call incident at your restaurant
What
that you
happened?
may or may not know. Spaz had a žurka there one time, and it was for Halloween.
Okay.
Okay, so I roll up in there, decked out like Michael Jackson, okay? The full pasty white skin, the hat, the hair, the shirt, all the fixins, right? I thought I looked the bomb. All right, I signed up for the costume contest.
Okay.
I'm like, I got this in the bag, right? And here I go, I'm waiting for my name to be called as like the first prize winner, whatever it may be. I don't remember what the prize was, but I just wanted the recognition of how hard
You planned.
I planned
Yeah.
out this whole costume. And it's like, all right, and first place goes to Sexy Machka. I'm like, I lost to a goddamn cat. I was
Well-
so mad.
Well, if Bronco had anything to do with it, my dad,
Probably
Sexy
picked her.
Machka, was
Yeah.
something sexy was definitely winning.
I should have been Sexy Michael.
I think he would have gone with the girl anyway.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so to this day, I still have a hole in my heart. I'm like, that
Man.
could have been me up there.
That's so funny. Yeah, we had a lot of parties there like that, you
Totally.
know. And so we worked our butts off, and that was like, we were always there. It was a big, big part of my family. You know, my sister, my grandma, me, my grandpa, like all of us were involved in it. So I definitely knew I didn't want to do that right off the bat. And my dad didn't really want us to do it. Like
Right.
he never thought he was going to pass down the restaurant to us. He, like probably a lot of first generation families are like, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you
Yeah.
need to do something.
Don't suffer like we did.
Exactly. But also on top of that, putting on the added pressure of, no, but you need to do something very, very impressive, like jump through a lot of,
Right.
cover a lot in the first time being here in this brand new country. So when I was very little, for some reason, I always wanted to be a flight attendant.
My God, you would have been perfect for that.
I mean, I really loved it, and I think it came from traveling back and forth so often, and they were so like luxurious, and they always were wearing heels, put together and beautiful, and gained a lot of respect, in my opinion. Like everybody like listened to them,
Right.
and that was my early childhood dreams of what to do, or kind of an idea. And then in college, I studied political science and communications. Because I was going with that lawyer idea my dad originally had, and then
Forced you to?
yeah, right, or just planted that in
Right.
there. But I knew that probably wasn't where I was going to end up.
So you did what I also did, where it's like, I want to make my family happy with my choices when it comes
Yeah.
to college, right? So you said you did political science. and communication. So it's like, I'll do what you want, but I'm going to soften the blow for myself and just do what I want too at the same time. And was that why you did the two, where it's like, I'm going to do what you want and do what I want as well, so everyone's happy?
So right away, like my dad was like, well, what's your job going to be? Like as soon as I graduated high school, and I had no idea. So I think I just was giving him something that like to hold him over, because until I figured out my, and you know, I always overthought what they wanted and considered their opinion very, like it weighed heavily on me. I mean, it still weighs heavily on me. Like I'm a grown woman and I still am like, oh, I wonder if like,
my parents will like what I'm wearing today.
Literally, these holes in my jeans, I like overthought them. I was like,
what is Žarkica gonna say?
I seriously, but you know, we've disappointed them enough at this point that they're like understand.
This is just like a wash in the bucket.
Yeah, kind of.
The phrases.
But
when they watch this, they're gonna be like, oh, Viki, što si tako droljava došla u goste?
Možda, but also now it's a little different because like I feel like they judge until you like attain a little bit, and then they're like, see, I did that.
Right.
So now they're all team, you got this, we helped you get here. And I'm like, you know, you did, and they run with it.
Totally. So this video that I found on your social media resonated with me a lot, because you talk about that you were with your mom going out with a camera and a mic so you could feel more comfortable in front of a mic, so you don't feel scared or embarrassed or whatever you said. But I find that so hard to believe, because you're so outgoing. Like you could talk to anybody.
I'll be super honest. Anytime there's like a big camera in front of my face, my right eye closes a little bit more than my left. And I notice it all the time. So I work really, like there's little things, you know, everybody has little tells and twitches and insecurities for sure. Practice makes perfect, and I really do believe the more you do something and the more you do something that's uncomfortable, just like the better it is for your soul, because every time you accomplish it or get through it, you don't even have to do it well. Just every time you get to the finish line of something that was hard, you did it. You realize like I survived that. That wasn't that bad. Next time I'm gonna do a little better, or next time I'll correct something, you know.
WGN Radio.
Yes.
Now, how did you get your start there?
My senior year in college at UIC, I auditioned for a bunch of TV stations. All of them denied me. One gave me 3 interviews and then denied me. So in that process, I thought I had that one in the bag. So I signed up for an internship class where you get credits for doing an internship. And it was a communication-based internship. Then I reached out to all the radio stations. And WGN already was full. And I begged them to give me an interview, and they're like, we don't have a spot for you. We'll see you for next semester, if anything. But I was like, I'm gonna squeeze my way in there one way or another. I'll figure it out. So I go to the interview, and it goes great. And they're like, all right, like we said, we don't have any space available. And then I just really do believe like what's meant to happen happens.
1000%. Right place, right time. What it sounds like. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's something where you don't realize it until after you pass it, right? And so that was one of those moments. Like they were completely full. I already got denied from somewhere else. I wasn't feeling great about myself. I went to this interview. They connected with me instantly. It was the right place for me, 100%. And they ended up being like, we'll add an extra. And I was like, great. So I started as an intern at WGN my senior year. Senior year was wrapping up, and they're like, start looking for a job. There's no place for you here. We're full. Like again, it was like the same story like a year later, or I guess just a semester later. And I didn't listen again. I just stayed. And then I was working for free for a while, and they're like, well, I don't know if I can say it. Like, you know, I was working there. And they're like, you can't keep coming here. Like, we're not paying you, and there's no job, and this is no longer. So you just showed
up to work? Like, all right, does anyone need their garbage thrown out?
Yeah,
like...
I literally would do anything. Wow. I was getting coffee. I was making copies. I was doing whatever. So then they finally gave me a part-time associate producer in the newsroom. And so I started in the newsroom after that and just worked my way up from there. So associate producer to news writer to street reporter. And then one night when the Cubs won their wild card game to get into the World Series, but they didn't win that year, they won the next year. I was the only reporter out on the scene, because I wasn't. I was just there to take pictures, and they needed to talk to someone. So they're like, do we have anyone there? And they're like, we got this girl, I don't know, she works in the newsroom, do you want to talk to her?
Right.
So I did a phoner, my first on-air appearance, and then that was really my big break, because after that, they heard me on air, they liked, you know,
How you
my
sounded.
personality, my
Yeah.
sound, and from there, I ended up doing traffic reporting on the Rokon show. So I started in the afternoons, 3 to 7. And then one show, yeah, there they are, Rokon and Anna Devlantes.
I actually worked with him at WLS when he was with Rowan Roper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Roper
Not that he
would be
remembers me or anything like that, but
I'm sure he does.
I doubt it.
Why? Well, we gotta show him this. He will. Yeah, so it was great. And then one show turned into another show, turned into another. By the end of it, I was on Steve Bertrand's lunch report. I was on John Williams' show. I was on Rokon's show with Anna Devlantes, and then
So you were just a correspondent on these things?
traffic reporter.
Traffic reporter.
Yeah, I started as a traffic reporter, and I'm still a traffic reporter. But
Holla.
yeah, anybody can do traffic, is what I'm trying to say. And what I
Well,
mean.
don't downplay what you do.
Well,
Not everyone has the knack to be quick and to actually know what they're talking about.
I agree, and I didn't have it when I first started either.
Well,
but like the
humble
practice
beginnings.
Yeah, but really, a traffic reporter's job, in my opinion, is it's more than that. It's just a stepping stone to being a personality on a show,
Right.
and finding your pockets and space to contribute.
So what's your favorite part of doing the traffic report?
Really, what's interesting is, so traffic reporting in the city, you go counterclockwise from the lake. Start with the Edens, Kennedy, Eisenhower, Stevenson, Dan Ryan. And I mean, that's the way I do it. And I think most people. But I guess the reason I'm saying that all is people wait to hear theirs. It's a very personal thing, because they take the same route to work probably every day, or pick up their kids from school. Like, they know where they're going, and it becomes a very interesting connection between you and the listener, because they're like, thanks. Like, I do this every single day, and I appreciate you for telling me what to avoid or where to go instead.
Right. Is this your first day at the internship?
Oh my God, right? No, I don't think so. This was when I went through my blonde phase. Yeah, that was at WGN Radio in the newsroom.
Love the free merch.
Yeah, exactly. That was at the Tribune Tower when we were still in there, and that was such a cool experience.
By the way, can anyone go up to the Crown?
No, you have to live there, I think. I know, I tried.
Oh, wow. You who worked there couldn't even go up there.
Well, no, because now it's condos. Yeah, you can't.
Oh,
it's
damn.
private, totally private. Only the lobby you can go into. And
Well, that's not fun.
yeah, but they didn't change. The lobby is still very pretty to check out, because it's like a landmark, so they can't change it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The mix. So when did you transfer from WGN to the mix?
It's been almost 5 years now, 4.5.
So how is it different now with the mix, going from straight up news to more of a low key function?
So different. At first, it was like, they're like, Violeta, please relax. And I'm like, because even just a little difference was, at WGN, we'd say our first and last name. Like, when we do I'd be like, that was traffic on WGN, I'm Violeta Podrumedic. And at the mix, it's so much more informal. They're like, the first report I did, I said my first and last name. They're like, yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like...
Different vibe.
Yeah, totally different, laid back. It goes with my personality probably a lot more, obviously, than the serious side. All of the pop culture things and having to be just know everything that's going on, other than the important news, was such a shift for me. Because it's hard to wrap your head around it. There's so many things going on constantly. The Kardashians, I got down.
Right.
But then I don't watch any of the housewife stuff, and it's not like that's all we cover. So that's why having 4 people is so crucial, and having all of these different opinions, all of these different personalities, and we all have something unique to bring to the show.
Totally. Let's talk TV appearances.
Okay. Yes. So in this one, it was the first one when we got there. They were doing something, maybe it was National Schnitzel Day or something. So they contacted us and they're like, hey, do you want to bring schnitzel from the restaurant? And my dad was like, yeah. So of course I'm like, I'm going too. So I go along, and I mean, they were great. WGN TV and radio has always felt like a family to me.
Totally.
But everybody feels that because they're so real. They
Right.
are just themselves.
As a news crew,
Right?
in the morning on TV, my family has been watching.
Yeah. And then the second time I was filling in their 9 at 9 segment. You know, they have somebody through like those funny stories with them.
Windy City Live with Val and Ryan. How'd that come about?
I don't know. I think they reached out to me to do another like guest appearance on there. But it was during COVID, so I did it. We had
virtually.
Yeah, it was virtual. So I wasn't in studio, which I was kind of disappointed about.
The Jam on
Man,
WCIU.
This is cool. This is like a little resume. Could you send me this? I like this.
Totally.
The Jams was fun. Very early morning hours. I went. Did I go once or twice? I think I went twice. It was cool. I don't know. They do pretty much similar stuff that we cover on the morning show as well, topic wise.
So pretty much you guys were discussing hot topics, current events that were happening around that time, and just pretty much giving your opinion like it was The View.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a segment here called Please Explain, where I
Okay.
go through your social media and I post photos that I feel need more explanation. Are
Okay.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, so I don't know if you, after your radio shift, need supplemental income and started working at Aldi, but I see you're repping the trenirke.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That's sexy, right? So I'm all about the side hustle. This isn't a side hustle situation, but so Aldi, one of Nikki on the show loves Aldi. So we literally went and we did a music video at Aldi.
What?
Yes.
I need to watch this ASAP.
Growing up, it was like a Euro spot. It was like a foreigner spot.
Totally.
Not even just Euro,
It's like,
just
I don't
everyone.
want to pay for Frosted Flakes at Jewel. I want to go get flakes of Frost at Aldi for
Totally.
half the price.
And then like I would have like whales instead of goldfish. My
Oh,
like
yeah.
friends are like, why is that in the shape of a whale? I'm like, I don't know. I still remember like having to get the boxes. Like my mom would be like, go find a kutia. I'm like, okay.
Go get a quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was just,
It was a vibe.
it was a vibe. And now it's cool.
All right, so this photo really reminds me of, it gives me that vibe where it's like, don't forget where you came from.
Yeah.
Because no matter how famous you get, you're still pushing the wheelbarrow in the cello.
Totally. Serbia and the cello will humble anyone.
Absolutely.
Having to go to the bathroom in a little hole in the ground
Been
will
there, done
humble
that.
anyone. It's a total vibe. I feel so centered and so at home when I'm there, which is, I'm a city girl. So it's the craziest like opposite of who I think I am. But when I'm there, I feel most myself, most at home, most in tune with what really matters. You know, you wake up with like the rooster, and then you go to bed like as soon as it's dark because you're so tired from working in the garden,
Right.
picking all the tomatoes, like cook just everything, and you're doing it all without any air conditioning, so it's exhausting. At the end of the day, there's nothing better than like a cold shower because there's probably not hot water,
And the boiler's with you in the tub.
Exactly. And I'm like, am I going to get electrocuted? Like,
Maybe.
this doesn't seem
Am I going to hit
safe.
my head and die in this tub? Yeah,
Everything's
maybe.
small. Everything's
Right.
tiny. So yeah, I love going back. Now that my grandma's older, I went back twice this year, which
Nice.
those tickets are crazy.
Oh, yeah. Did you
Shout
go to
out-
Air Serbia?
I was going to say shout out to Air Serbia. Now
Oh, you
that-
didn't even go with them.
yeah, well, they're expensive. So,
All right. Okay, first of all, Guza line 1.
oh my God.
Second of all, what is happening here? There's a lot to
Yeah.
unfold.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're checking out. I don't know why he's like half dressed on the stage in a tropical place.
There's a lot going on for sure. So this was at a live remote that we did in Mexico, and we were live on air, so that's why we have the microphones. This guy was a listener that came along with us. Those pants he's holding are my yoga pants, and I think we were playing some game of...
Like, can you fit into it?
Well, no, he had to put them on for sure, and then if he got the answer right or wrong, if he got it wrong, we put sand in his pants.
Oh,
and so it just kept growing
man.
and growing, but these were really stretchy, so by the end of it, like, he had like trunks, like big legs filled with sand,
What was the prize?
just to be on stage,
Oh,
I think.
wow.
There's like, I don't know, people just want to have fun, and
Right.
it was something crazy to do.
Oh, and here's the OG, Baba Žarkica.
Yeah.
First of all, she already has low circulation, and then your ass had to sit on it.
So she's a really interesting person to have on your side because she's super supportive, but she also doesn't get it whatsoever.
It's all right.
which
She's
is
your biggest
fun.
cheerleader, and that's all that matters.
Hee.
Oh,
Are you
man.
on stage there?
I am.
Where?
I think I'm
Oh, yeah.
over here next to Teehee.
Yeah.
And then you're the darkest one of the bunch.
I was always pretty tan, right?
Yep. I believe we're getting geared up to dance Igre i Srbije for the umpteenth time. Because we only knew like 3 dances.
But we were really good at them.
But were we though? Maybe to our parents, but I'm sure other people from different churches are like, ugh, Leskovac again.
Don't hate on it. I loved it. It was people loved it when we would do the hey hop. You know, it was
that
an
intensity
exciting
that
time.
we brought,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Totally. Up next, we're gonna play a special edition of How Balkan Are You, the Vicky P edition. So stick around. When in doubt, Soko will perform what dance?
Leskovac.
Is it Leskovac? I don't know.
Gotta be.
Srbija.
Oh, what? No, we did Leskovac more. That's wrong.
Really?
You're wrong.
What?